Hello, readers. Welcome to reading class with me, Miss Taylor. It's nice to see you again. All right, are we ready to read? Do we have our textbook? Check. Bookmark or finger to follow along, to track as we're reading. Do we have our workbook? Pencil? Check. If you don't have these things, please pause the video. You can go and get them and come back. All right, we're going to remember to track with our finger or a bookmark. We're going to read each word carefully, and we're going to pay attention to end marks. Some of our goals for today, we're going to read with accuracy and expression. We're going to understand what's happening in the story, kind of figuring things out. It's called inferring. And we're going to make connections to characters' feelings like we did in our last story. We were thinking about, oh my goodness, how would that feel if you were in a jungle and you heard a large creature eating another creature, and then you ran away, and then there was this huge snake in your path, and then you jumped over it. And then when you got to safety, you were like, where's my friend? Oh my goodness. Whew. So maybe you can make a connection to a time when you felt afraid or scared, like Edna in the last story, and probably Carla. All right, and we're going to enjoy the story. We know that reading is thinking, so just keeping all these things in mind. As I mentioned last story, we were doing some inferring, and inferring is when we figure things out. We use text evidence and our background knowledge to figure things out. So in the last story, we saw this winged animal, had this big leathery wings, and then Tyrannosaurus came out, and then we heard Tyrannosaurus we saw Tyrannosaurus chase after the bird-like creature, and then we don't really know what happened, but we heard crunching sounds, and then there was like some squawking. So we can infer that probably Tyrannosaurus was eating the poor bird-like creature. All right. So for today, before we have our new story, we are going to review our vocabulary sentences. So we have the smell attracted flies immediately. Ooh. So something was kind of smelly. Remember in the last story, Edna said she could smell something when Tyrannosaurus was near, and it smelled kind of like garbage. All right. Our next sentence, the rim of the volcano exploded. And our last sentence, the new exhibit displayed mysterious fish. All right. So would you please join me if you are not there yet? I'm on page 155, looking for Carla. Carla? Where are you, Carla? My goodness. All right. So let's find lesson 32. Word 1 is cough. What word? Word 2 is pour. What word? Word 3 is volcano. What word? Are you already doing some predicting? I wonder why the word volcano is in our word list. Word 4 is neither. What word? And that word you can say neither or neither. Both are correct. Word 5 is adventure. What word? Adventure. So an adventure is a new, exciting experience. Word 6 is supplies. What word? And supplies are things that you need to do a job. So you might need some supplies if you were building something. You might need some supplies if you were doing your reading work. Right? Supplies is another name for like materials, things you need to do something. All right, let's go ahead to column 2. I think for today, we're just going to read through them together. We're not going to do it the fast way because we have 4 lists. So let's go to column 2. Word 1 is remains. What word? Yeah, the remains of something are the parts that are left. Oh dear. Sometimes the only remains of a dead animal is the skeleton. Oy, oy, oy. Word 2 is shriek. What word? Shriek is like a loud sound. Word 3 is reason. What word? Word 4 is attract. What word? And word 5 is safety. What word? Nice job. All right, so column 3 and column 4, we're going to try this just the fast way. So take a look at column 3, and I want you to read column 3 to yourself. Okay, now we're going to do it the fast way, and I noticed the words that I got confused with yesterday. Remember yesterday I thought I saw the word breaths, and I thought it was breathes. But you can see here that those two words are very similar, but the word breathe has an E at the end. And so breathes would just have an ES. So these are tricky words. Let's be careful. Don't get fooled like I did. But it's okay if we do. All right. Lying, laying, breathe, breath, pacing, packing. All right, nice job. And column 4, take a minute to read it to yourself, and then we'll do it the fast way. Okay, ready? Glanced, prancing, strangely, untangle. Nice job. All right. So let's go ahead and look at part B in our story, looking for Carla. Carla was not in sight. That meant that Carla was still back there in the jungle. Edna took a couple of steps into the jungle. She stopped and looked down the path. She couldn't see anything. Part of her mind told her, "Don't go back there. You'll get killed." Then another part of her mind said, "You've got to go, you've got to help Carla. Go back." So part of her mind is telling her, "No, stay safe. Just take care of yourself." And part of her is like, "No, you have to go help your friend." I wonder which part of her brain she's going to listen to. For a moment, Edna thought of calling to Carla, but then she realized that the sound of her voice would attract the monster. Just like if she were to shout for Carla, then the Tyrannosaurus might hear her and come after them. Suddenly, she noticed that she was walking back toward the clearing. She had decided to try to help her friend. She's like, "I have to help my friend." She crouched over and kept near the side of the path. She was ready to duck behind a tree as soon as she spotted Tyrannosaurus. So she's kind of keeping an eye out. She's ready to duck behind a tree and hide as soon as she sees Tyrannosaurus. She couldn't hear anything except her breath and the sounds of her feet moving through the green plants. Step, step, step. She moved down the path. She noticed a beautiful flower growing in the middle of the path. She noticed that the birds in the jungle were not squawking. "Why are they silent?" she asked herself. I wonder why the birds are being so quiet. Maybe you could make a prediction. She answered, "They probably flew away when Tyrannosaurus ran into the clearing." Well, it makes sense. Then once again she noticed how quiet it was. So quiet. Step, step, step. Edna was nearly all the way back to the clearing when she heard Tyrannosaurus. She could smell the dinosaur too, but she couldn't see it. Remember, he smelled like garbage. He or she, it smelled like garbage. Edna ducked behind a tree on the side of the path. Now her mind started to think about the things that might have happened. Maybe Tyrannosaurus had already found Carla. And maybe Tyrannosaurus... And then she stops. What do you think she might be thinking? Maybe Tyrannosaurus got my friend. No, she told herself. Don't think about things like that. Carla is all right. So she's trying to tell herself, calm down. My friend is okay. I just have to go help her. Edna stayed behind the tree for a minute or two. Tyrannosaurus didn't seem to be moving toward her. So slowly she snuck back onto the path and moved toward the sound of the breathing, closer and closer. Then she saw Carla lying near the path. Her leg was tangled up in some vines. She was lying very still. Part of Edna's mind said this, Carla's not moving, so she's dead. Another part of of Edna's mind said this, no, she's not dead, and she's not hurt. She's lying very still because Tyrannosaurus is very near, and she doesn't want to move. So she sees her friend, and we can see in the picture her leg is tangled in this vine, but she's not moving, and Edna's thinking, why is my friend not moving? I hope she's still alive. Edna snuck up a little closer. Now she could see Tyrannosaurus. The dinosaur was at the edge of the clearing, looking in the direction of Carla. But the dinosaur was not standing still. It was pacing, kind of walking back and forth, pacing, and turning its head from one side to another as if it was looking for something. Edna looked at Carla. She was all right. Whew, her friend's okay. On the far end of the clearing were the remains of the flying dinosaur. Ooh, that means like all that was left of the dinosaur because Tyrannosaurus ate it. Dear. For some reason, Tyrannosaurus was not eating them. He was not eating all the little leftover parts. Suddenly, Edna got an idea of how to save Carla. The plan was very dangerous, but Edna felt strangely brave. She started singing the Fortitude song. Fortitude, it's not giving up. I read that. She felt that she had to try to help Carla. Edna's plan was to catch the dinosaur's attention. She would go into the jungle and make a lot of noise. Tyrannosaurus would come after the noise. When the dinosaur followed the noise, Carla would be able to free herself and run to safety. That's a pretty brave plan. So Edna's going to try to get Tyrannosaurus to notice her and make a lot of noise. And then Carla was supposed to get free and run to safety. I wonder if her plan is going to work. Please read the rest of the story to yourself. Get ready to answer some questions. If you're not finished reading, please pause the video. So everyone, did Edna carry out her plan about catching Tyrannosaurus's attention? No. Remember, her plan was to make a lot of noise to distract Tyrannosaurus, but she didn't need to do that plan. So, and the reason she didn't need to do that was because the 3 Triceratops that were attracting its attention. And when the Triceratops came into the clearing, what did Tyrannosaurus do? Yeah, it ran towards them, stopped, and shrieked. And when Tyrannosaurus was paying attention to the Triceratops, what did Edna do? Yeah, she ran and tried to help Carla, tried to free Carla from the tangle of vines. And everybody, did the girls have a little talk? Did they talk about things and have a little chat? No, they were trying to be very quiet. All right. And did they get Carla's leg free at the end of the story? Not yet. Oh dear. So let's look at the picture. You can see how close the girls are to the edge of the clearing. What does it look like those dinosaurs are getting ready to do? they going to fight? Perhaps they're going to dance. All right. So second graders, what's next? You're going to reread the story on your own. You're going to answer the questions at the end of the story, complete your workbook, read for 20 more minutes, and again, thank you for doing such a nice job on your complete sentence answers. So today we have a couple of complete sentence answers, number 6 and 7. And number 6 says, Edna made up a plan to save Carla. How was Edna going to catch Tyrannosaurus's attention? So you're going to start your complete sentence answer with a capital letter. Edna was going to catch Tyrannosaurus's attention by, remember what she was going to do? Yeah, she was going to make a lot of noise. All right, have a wonderful rest of your day, readers, and I will see you again soon.